boys in our clubhouse getting high. Super fuckers! Everybody wishes we would die. Super fuckers! Here we come like a bomb. Everybody fucking run and hide.
Hey, it's the... Hang on, let me make sure it's recording. Hey, it's the RebelTaxi Pizza Party podcast, and Nolan is missing.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
But hey, we have... Who are you people?
I'm Jim.
I'm Stev.
I'm Gary.
And Gary's back. If anyone remembers Gary, who are you, Gary?
Hi, my name is Gary. I am a screenwriter, and I work on a show called Failing Upward that's been in development for a while. We're still working on it. But I've got some exciting news today, so whenever we're ready to talk about that, I'll be down.
We'll get into the news soon, but the next video is going to be a review on an episode of the Mega Man cartoon from the 90s.
Cool.
Did you guys ever see the Mega Man cartoon?
Super fighting robot.
Yep. It's one of those shows that came on before all the Saturday morning cartoons.
It does not hold up very well.
Wait, that's 6 a.m.?
Yeah, it was like a 6 a.m., 7 a.m. show.
That's straight up hardcore Saturday morning cartoons. If you're like, I was watching the before it said like Fox Kids or ABC Family.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's hardcore. No one's going to test how much you like cartoons if you know that shit.
I was going to say, like, technically if it aired, I mean, it's still in the morning. So it's still technically a Saturday morning cartoon.
No, it is, but there's a difference.
It's syndicated.
It's not part of the block.
Yeah, if it's not part of the block, it's like it counts in your heart, but it corporately it doesn't.
No.
In your heart of hearts, you know it's a Saturday morning cartoon.
Yeah. It's like, it's Saturday, it is morning, technically it is, but they're not going to have the bumps when they have like Eek the Cat next to the Tick. Yeah. Mega Man's not going to be there.
He's not, unfortunately. No. That, and then I remember Mega Man playing side by side with an Inspector Gadget sequel called Gadget Boy. Yeah, not one of Fox's better moments.
Sounds like 6 a.m. to me.
Yeah.
Well, see, like, I remember Beast Wars and Sailor Moon airing during that.
Yeah, no, Stev's right. That was definitely there, like, before Fox Kids came on.
Yeah. I mean, I remember watching the Mega Man cartoon, which this was my first exposure to Mega Man, and it aired on a Fox Family, which was later known as ABC Family, which is now known as, I think, the CW.
Yeah,
pretty much.
It's known as Freeform. I think they changed it to. That's what it's called, Freeform.
They changed it again.
Yeah, it's called Freeform now because my girlfriend and I we were watching one of the Harry Potter movies and it just said Freeform on the bottom. I'm like, what the hell is that?
But yeah, this was my first exposure to Mega Man and also Mega Man Legends, which does not hold up at all.
Ooh, I think some people might be angry about that.
It's true. I mean, have you go boot up your PlayStation 1 and like try to walk around in that game. Basically, you walk forward with the D-pad and to rotate, you hit the L and R buttons like a tank. It is so broken by today's standards.
Well, it's a different time back then. Everyone was still trying to figure out how to not be Super Mario 64.
Yeah. I mean, things like Tomb Raider, everything with that tank controls, they just don't hold up, but did you guys see the cartoon and remember how horrible it was?
I will say the cartoon, like, I don't want to even say it tried, but like they did incorporate things that I wouldn't normally think they'd incorporate into like a video game adaptation. Like they did bring X in at one point. I remember that.
Oh yeah, there was a time travel episode where X came back and Mega Man was useless because they're from the future, so they have better metals, so he couldn't actually fight with them.
Yeah, it's weird.
I recently watched that.
They included different continuities. Well, just the X universe and the original NES universe, surprisingly.
Mm-hmm. The one thing I hate about that show, I hated the design of the characters. They all look so clunky and like rushed, like they didn't even try.
Yeah, I mean, like originally there's a pilot video available online, like a test footage showing that it was supposed to be in the style of the video games, like that Japanese looking style where he still looks like a boy and they look like the characters from the games, but apparently focus testing made them change it because the kids thought he doesn't look cool. Make him look like a superhero like the X-Men cartoon.
Yeah, you know what? I think everybody can take like a word, like those focus groups and the people who run them can take advice from Craig McCracken's focus group for Powerpuff Girls, like where the kids just hated it and they put it on air anyway.
Yeah.
Like, because I don't know, I feel like if it would have found its audience, like the people who really loved Mega Man would have loved that. It would have loved that.
Speaking of Powerpuff Girls, I did listen into the previous podcast, and there's like a little bits and pieces of me where I actually like started speaking out loud to a recorded footage. That was embarrassing. Why are you guys listening to me? But you guys, because I think one of the complaints you guys had was that it looks very much like Clarence, the background characters, and that's because Bob Boyle is the producer. He's essentially in control of everything, and he's currently the producer for Clarence, as well as this like little square character I think Frederator owns. It's like a long tail.
Wow, Wubsy?
Yeah, so it's the same guy that created that is now running both Clarence and Powerpuff Girls.
Yeah, when you say Bob Boyle, I think about that one kid from Fairly Odd Parents. This is my Bob Boyle. That character is based on him, I believe, but
I'm gonna need verification on that, Pan.
well, if he worked on Wow Wow Wubsy, that's Frederator, and so is Fairly Odd Parents. So I think that's what it is.
All right, I mean, okay.
And it was set on the internet, so it's automatically true.
It has to be.
Oh, I forgot that rule.
So, Stev, how do you feel about the new Powerpuff Girls reboot?
I love the intro.
Yeah, the intro's good.
I actually I found out the show's animated in Toon Boom by a single frame. It like popped out to me. There's like it's being shared a lot. It's like a part where like Blossom looks like a Cyclops.
Yeah.
And which is really upsetting because at first I thought that was a still frame, like that was on screen for a while. That way people notice. But it turns out it's an in-between that's on the screen for like 1/12 of a second. So it really does not matter in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah.
But it turns out, so how I know it's Toon Boom is the technique they use there is the circle for their heads is a mask for any of the elements for their head. So what they just have is their flat head looking straight at the camera, and then they just move it closer or like in one direction to the other to make them look like they're looking in a way. And so all they did was translate the face. And so you get that weird, awkward in-betweens because of it. And if you look back at the old production models for the Powerpuff Girls, that's inaccurate. Like, that is not true to their designs. It's really upsetting because the eyes should never touch the head if they're looking from the side. The one eye should always be centered, and the mouth doesn't connect to the body either. And it's just like, it's so frustrating. So, like, before when I thought it was one still frame, I got really pissed off because like they're not even like, like it looks like an intern did it.
Oh,
but it's only 1/12 of a frame.
I'll include an image of like the what we're talking about in the description. But to simplify what Stev said, basically the Powerpuff Girls' head is essentially like a hole, and underneath is just the eyes, and they can just move around the eyes, but they'll still be under that circle. So that's why there's a little glitchiness.
So
there.
Anything past that circle basically gets deleted.
Yeah.
It was me and Joltoid were talking about it because Joltoid's been using Toon Boom for their Pip and Pap cartoons, and it's the exact same technique. It's really easy, but at the exact same time, it's like one of those things where it's awesome, it speeds up production, but at the exact same time, at what cost?
Yeah.
Like, the animators are clearly, because that frame should not have been there, even though it was in between and it was a quick little thing. It would only take like 2 seconds to move the eye over just a little bit more, and be perfectly fine.
Yeah.
Is it like what they do with movies where they release footage that isn't completely finished, like to air, just to do it as a preview? Was it something like that, or is that the actual footage that's going to be in the show?
Has it actually aired yet? Because all I've seen is clips. Then it's probably unfinished.
Because that happened with if you saw that people are doing side-by-sides with the Jurassic World trailer, and you could see the effects get better and better by each trailer. And I don't know, obviously TV animation is different than feature films, but I was just wondering.
I know that there's a certain deadline for things that, like, if they don't get it done and submit it to them, like, at a certain point they get feed, like the network charges them. But for this one, it's most likely these are unfinished things that might be changed. But also, judging by how impressive that intro is, I would not be shocked if a couple of these first set of episodes, some of the budget went to the intro, and so these are weaker.
Yeah, because
I don't know. I feel like TV has a pretty big history that would disagree with that. Most intros are better than the actual show.
Yeah.
Again, that's partially because
intro and stuff like that. Like the quality difference is astounding. But I'm kind of upset because like the girl, the woman who designed the girls for this. Cheyenne Curtis. I really like her art. She did a lot of the character design for Star versus the Forces of Evil. And it just seemed like a natural fit for her to do Powerpuff Girls because, like, if you look at those two shows, they, Stars obviously has some kind of, take some kind of cue from Powerpuff Girls in certain aspects. But something between, the initial pre-production and the final product must have happened because, like, the art bothers me, but I can get over it. The writing is what bothers me the most. The short with the lunchroom, that one, like Bubbles, I don't know what they're doing with that character. Like she does, like I know the whole joke is that she's a sports commentator, but like I just don't see her. Like I feel like it would be the other way around. Like Buttercup would be in that role. And
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so that one has another issue. Okay, there's two things I do want to bring up about Powerpuff Girls. The first one is about that one. It's the girls were never intentionally destroying stuff.
Yeah.
And in this one, they like Buttercup literally destroys a bunch of stuff just to try to prove her point that she can make this goal. And now, and someone in one of the comments on YouTube mentioned that like that was kind of the defining difference between my life as a teenage robot and Powerpuff Girls when it comes to destruction is that the girls are never doing it on purpose and it's usually accidental. And this one, that kind of ruins their character in a way.
Yeah.
And then my other problem is the standards for TV are completely different now when it comes to violence.
Yeah.
And a lot of the impacts like in the previews do not work because you can't make them impactful. There's not going to be any blood. There's not going to be any real hard punches. And that, believe it or not, that's a big part of Powerpuff Girls.
Wait, it's gotten stricter since the 90s?
I mean, I thought we can get away with a lot more now.
Yeah.
Well, no, wait. I said violence. A lot of the like more adult content, or like Steven Universe, when you have like LGBT, and that wasn't the right acronym at all.
LGBT? Did you say?
Yeah.
I think you just said lasagna.
But like there's definitely more adult content when it comes to them. But as far as violence goes, you can't really show impacts. I know that some blood, they might be able to fight for it, but like I think this is going to be really toned down in comparison to the previous one. And the whole point was cute cartoon characters doing really brutal things. That was the fun part.
It's harder to do violence now as it was 20 years ago.
It's weird how the pendulum has shifted too, because like it used to be like, like Stev pointed out, like it used to be like very much how like you could show a lot of violence, but you had to work around the sexual jokes. Now you can kind of outright do sexual jokes, but you have to work around the violence.
That's interesting because you have Netflix and you have so many ways kids can see that stuff. So it's like weird that that's still a sticking point.
Well, I mean,
But like, have you ever noticed go ahead.
I guess that would apply to like TV Y7 shows because like Symbionic Titan and the Star Wars, the Clone Wars were all PG, and they got away with a lot of weird, brutal stuff.
But there's also that whole like not hitting humans. There's a lot of like
Symbionic Titan hit a lot of humans. Like I remember Lance just beating the shit out of humans.
Well, wait, is that why there hasn't been as many action animated shows? Because it's so much harder to deal with violence. Okay, it was just. I mean, I'm just guessing.
The reason why there's less fighting shows and action shows is that they usually tend to be more plot oriented, where like things progress. And it's very difficult for repeat viewings for people like a comedy cartoon. People can randomly watch any episode in any order because there's no bearing on like actual storyline. And so those repeat viewings like SpongeBob, Teen Titans Go, et cetera, those ratings could stay consistent versus like a show like Steven Universe, which is more plot oriented. Once you're caught up, a lot of people don't tend to go back and rewatch old episodes when it's airing on TV. There's a difference between like, say you bought the episodes on like Amazon or something and you're going and binge watching them all the way through again versus like randomly watching a TV show. Like, oh, here we go.
Actually, that's an interesting point because I think like Regular Show and Rick and Morty are two shows that have a plot going on throughout it, but you don't necessarily need to know it to enjoy each episode. I mean, some episodes are exceptions, but for a majority, you can just kind of come in and watch a Regular Show or a Rick and Morty. And it's interesting that those shows' popularity has like been fairly consistent throughout their runs. Maybe that's why.
I think there are other reasons at play here too. I think action shows in general cost more money to make, and I also think that, when you put an action show out, it as we've seen before, like a lot of its success is based on how well toys sell.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And if those toys aren't selling, then, the show's kind of a bust. So like, I think a lot of these people are like, well, comedy's easy, which it's not. So like, and they'll just they'll put something out and be like, oh, kids are dumb. They'll laugh at this.
Well, it's also that, if you have an action show now, you're competing in store space with Star Wars, Marvel, DC, and all these other things. And when in the 90s or the 2000s, you had Spider-Man and maybe the X-Men movies, and that was kind of it in terms of action figures, and it's like a lot tougher of a market to crack.
Oh yeah.
If you have like a small show on cable that like most of your audience doesn't know yet, it's not going to take off. So that's probably a majority of why most of the action shows are already proven properties now.
And Jim pointed out something very, very depressing, because if you walk into a toy aisle today, it's not nearly as colorful as it used to be, because
it's not.
You had all of these different shows with weird action figures with a huge color palette. Now you walk into a toy aisle. It's kind of like orange, blue, sepia tones, stuff like that.
Are you sure? Because have you been into a toy aisle in the last month?
I'm a grown man, so I don't hang around toy stores,
Yeah, I mean, I only go if I'm like in Target. I'll walk by it. That's about as far as I go into that.
No joke. I've seen one of my coworkers at the school I teach, like another instructor, more at Toys R Us than I have seen him at the place that I work at. But like for example, Power Rangers, a lot of the Power Rangers and something else, I forgot what, but they've been like doing really colorful packaging. Like it's like red and neon green, and they even have like 10 different colored Power Rangers at this point. They have like granite Power Ranger, which is a
fantastic.
silver Ranger, and they have a purple Ranger, and they have a Xeon, and they have like they have 3 blues. They literally have 3 blue Power Rangers.
Turquoise, seafoam, and blue.
Wow.
And then the Transformers cartoon, as terrible as it is now, the Robots in Disguise, it's got really colorful characters as well. Like, so there is colors. I know that wasn't exactly your point. But they are trying to make brighter colors. The problem is that brighter colored toys also look very low in the production quality. Like the new Transformers toys just look really like cheap because they are super colorful. Versus
maybe it's not so much color then. Maybe just the variety of different styles within a toy aisle, is drastically different.
That has changed, because like in the 90s, you'd have Street Sharks, Ninja Turtles, X-Men, Batman. You'd have all these things.
Beast Wars.
Yeah, well, like even if they were dumb shows, it would be cool to just look at the toys when you were a kid, and even like, and not just because you're a kid and you're into toys. Like now, when I go by and go, oh, cool, they made a figure of that lady from Thor. That's cool.
Those Marvel figures look atrocious.
They're not good. It's like I kind of feel like also because action figures aren't what they were.
Yeah.
I don't know a dick about toys really, but it's just like it's not the market it was, and now it feels like people are more into what are those things with the big heads that they make a thing out of everything.
Pop
figures.
It's like I bought the Spider-Man one because I thought it looked cool, but like they've made so many, it's like God, guys. Like,
I like them for certain things. Like I like the Star Wars ones, and then like there are ones I want them to make. I really want them to do Kevin Smith like View Askew Universe ones. I think those would be good.
What? They haven't? Yeah,
they don't have them yet.
Do they have? I think they might have Jay and Silent Bob.
Yeah,
maybe. I know they just did.
But I want my Mallrats. I want my Brody pop vinyl.
Well, I want them. I want the Kevin Smith, the Jay and Silent Bob, so that when I die, someone can take a picture of my grave with them crying next to it. How many celebrities have they done that to? It's really funny.
But shit. But jumping back. Oh, real quick. You know they have YouTuber toys now.
Yeah, Tube Heroes.
You can get like a Sky Does Minecraft figure. Yeah, they're awful.
Like,
okay, they should make Pan Pizza toys. I'd buy one.
I would totally buy a Pan Pizza toy. I would want that.
If I had if someone could make a hat, that'd be great. But I don't know these YouTubers. I mean, these Let's Players at all. I don't watch Let's Plays, but I don't know. I'm just watching TV, and there's just this commercial for these Tube Heroes of like knockoff Minecraft characters, but they're designed like these famous Let's Players, and I don't know, they always come off as creepy. Like one of them says, "Hi, I'm Mr. Sparkles, and welcome to Tube Heroes.
Who are the Tube Heroes? The world's greatest digital heroes. No capes, just all the power of the digital verse. They are true Tube Heroes.
Hi there, it's me, Captain Sparkles.
You can visit tubeheroes.com. Ask your parents first. Not just heroes, Tube Heroes.
So the reason why they look like they're all Minecraft Let's Players because the company that's making those also has a license to Minecraft and the Terraria, whatever. So strategically they try to make them close enough, all three brands, so that if kids wanted to, they could play with all three of them together and it's not too clashing.
Yeah. I'd like to. A couple months back, they had a bunch of Subway ads for YouTubers. So I'd go into I'd go into the New York subway and stuff like that, and I'd see like stuff for like Nerdy Nummies or like epic rap battles, and I'd really like to see. I'd really like to see like the reports about how those impacted views, because I can't imagine them working very well.
No, I don't think they did, because most people, I also am in New York, and when I take them and they'd be the epic rap battles, and anyone who knows I'm on YouTube would be like, so that's what YouTube's like? And I go, no, it's not. Just let's get on the subway. Just don't talk. Or Michelle Phan, they were really pushing her. Like, I guess it was like almost 2 years ago now. Yeah. And she was like on a subway would pull up and be a big pic of her like putting on mascara or Grace Helbig.
I remember that.
Yeah, it was like a lot of them, and it was kind of like, well, the weird thing apparently about that is if you have a deal with another company, YouTube will not do that advertising campaign with you. Like if there's certain companies you have a deal with, YouTube's like, we're not going to do it. So you have to have like, there's some deal with like, if you have deals with like another company, like a Discovery has deals with other YouTube channels and stuff, they won't do it. But if you just have endorsement deals, they'll do it with you.
Well,
something I don't know exactly, so nobody.
Not to harp on this too much, but like this kind of advertising really started with Polaris and stuff like that. Like when I noticed Polaris come around and become like a big network, I was like, oh, okay, so they're trying to push it to the mainstream, because you'd see like Game Grumps do like a behind the scenes with Guillermo del Toro and stuff like that, and like it just, I don't know, like it's
clarify,
it's jarring. It's kind of jarring. Like it's
just so you know,
those two things cross over.
Mm-hmm. But Polaris is owned by Maker, who's owned by Disney.
There you go. Okay, that's okay. Gotcha.
I never thought those YouTube ad campaigns had anything to do with helping views or subscribers. I thought it just was to show, look how big this person is. That's to me like,
yeah, they would put their sub count on the poster.
Yeah, because or the sub count would, they show it evolving, like getting bigger on the TV ads. And same with, who's the lady who says she's Superwoman? Which, by the way, I don't know how you don't get sued for that shit, but whatever. What's her name?
I don't know.
And she does a bunch of impressions of her dad and stuff, and she's like,
sounds enthralling.
She's Indian or something.
No,
I don't.
Anyone's talking.
Yes,
about.
I don't. But she had ads all over New York, and I was like, man, I wonder how many views or anything you get. And supposedly, like I read, it wasn't, at least with her, it really didn't advance her much. It just brought the awareness to more people who don't watch YouTube. But it didn't really, just because you're aware of something doesn't mean you're actually going to watch it.
Yeah, I don't think the people who aren't watching YouTube already are going to watch YouTube, to be honest.
No, it didn't seem to bring over that many people. And the thing with internet marketing is I've tried doing flyers, and obviously I didn't have the money that those people do, but it kind of, you get a little burst when they first go up, and then nobody gives a shit. Like it doesn't work for the internet. It just doesn't at all.
So I guess if I go to my local sushi place where they let people write on these dry erase boards on the wall, I guess no one will go to my YouTube channel if I advertise it on there.
You might have a fan take a picture of themselves with your drawing or something and tweet at you.
Have you done that?
I mean, I don't know. There's this local place called Lucky Sushi, and I just draw Pan Pizza's head on there, and maybe some fan will see it and post it to me. So yeah, if anyone knows a place called Lucky Sushi, look for my Pan Pizza head written on the walls.
So basically, you're doing the regular show method where you're making the smallest advertisement as possible.
Yeah.
Wait, what role do you get?
Usually Fuji or I guess they call it lucky. Anything that's fried, I like.
Oh, okay, cool. Sorry. I just wanted to know.
So I ran into a couple of your fans. So last podcast I was at Anime Crossroads in Indianapolis, and I was boothing, and like I had two people come up to me for you specifically, Pan.
Oh no!
So,
were they
so I can't say anything about them because they listen to the podcast.
Were they just like, "Fuck you, Stev. Where's Pan?"
There was one guy that he was like unintentionally rude.
Oh.
Like I don't think he meant it. And then the other one was a cute girl.
Yeah, was she goth?
Ooh.
Ooh.
She was not goth.
Well, thanks for nothing.
That meant Stev, you could have had dibs. Why didn't you? You should have gotten on that.
Don't talk like that. Oh
no, I didn't mean like. I meant it in a like.
Get out of here.
I don't know where I meant it. Let's move on. It's 2016, man. I don't know.
I want to bring up something from the previous conversation about the connected narratives versus one-off episodes, because it's relevant right now. Did you see it? Did you see it, Pan? Where Greg McCracken kind of like made like an open statement about how the second season of Wander Over Yonder had a reoccurring plot line. And that was something he wanted from the very beginning, but the network was like, no, let's do this thing that actually makes money.
Yeah.
And then he experimented with it for the second season, and fans loved it. But apparently,
We'll get into that.
Let's get. You want to get into the news?
Yeah.
Yeah. So next video is going to be Mega Man. A review of a Mega Man episode regarded as one of the worst, and it involves furries.
Oh, topical.
This is CNN.
Wonder Over Yonder? Canceled.
Dun, dun, dun.
So, what were you going to say?
Oh, no, that was it. I was just saying he made a post like basically stating that he wanted to do a overarching plot, like he wanted to have a continuity with the show. And the network turned him down. And then they gave, like, after the first season did well enough, they gave, when they spotlighted him, he's like, hey, can we do this? He compromised. He apparently did like every 2 episodes or something, there was a recurring plot line with a female villain. Yes. And then there's like, apparently the next stretch of episodes are going to be not anything remotely like the previous ones. They're like one-offs that have like, they have like small messagings of the plot similar to Rick and Morty. Mm-hmm. But, like, that's it. But apparently he was talking about the third season and how they might do something completely new. Guess not.
Well, that's weird since Gravity Falls, they mainly advertised it for having a continuing storyline.
Yeah, Star is very much the same way. Although I think with Star, the problem... I think they're trying to experiment, I guess, on a more regular basis because, like, there were canon episodes of that show, but there's a lot of one-offs, and the one-offs are kind of like the worst of the show, I think. So I don't know what they're thinking. Like, it's like clearly, like, these creators know how to do canon spines, but it seems that Disney doesn't want them to.
Yeah,
that's lame.
Yeah.
Well, I think with Wonder Over Yonder, Disney was hoping for another Foster's Home or Powerpuff Girls, because like, Greg McCracken isn't really known for ongoing storylines. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I mean, both those shows were. Am I thinking? Is there another one, or did you just do the 2?
No, that's it.
Yeah. So Rhonda is his 3rd show. So I can kind of see where they're like, nah, just kind of keep doing what you know. Just keep playing around that same sandbox.
Yeah, but I guess Wonder Over Yonder wasn't really all that popular. Like, nobody was really talking about it until, like, Lord Dominator shows up, this one girl villain who is great.
Well, isn't that like most shows, though? Like, the Sixth Ranger, the Green Ranger that comes in, like, that's when the show's interesting for a lot of people?
I mean, like, Gravity Falls was, like, hit the ground running. So maybe they had expectations in place for... what they wanted out of the show. Once again, Star was the same way. Star was renewed for a 2nd season after its 1st episode. So, like, I think they just have their expectations really high, which is a shame because I think a lot of people were talking about Wander but maybe not specifically about the characters or the plot. When Wander was brought up to me, a lot of the people were talking about how good the animation was. And it is really good. That show is insanely well designed and looks beautiful. I was watching it on like a really good HD TV the other day, and it was like, wow, like they put so much effort into the backgrounds, into the character movements, into every last little thing you could possibly imagine. And it was really gaining ground on that front. But I guess if people aren't, like shipping characters, then it's not a success.
Yeah, well, that doesn't really matter exactly. Like, the internet culture and, like, the kids who actually watch the show are two different things. Otherwise, Teen Titans Go would have been canceled by now.
Yeah,
like,
nobody...
People ship that Raven and Beast Boy all the time.
Yeah, but, like, what kids watch...
It's not big like Adventure Time or regular show online. Nobody really likes Teen Titans Go.
Well, I feel like people, like, they make it out to be much bigger than it is. They say it's your new favorite show. They play it over and over again.
I mean, it's
like
SpongeBob level of ratings, which I don't know if they...
Oh, yeah. It's painful. It's that and the new Scooby-Doo... Wait, do they even play that new Scooby-Doo show anymore? Because that was in reruns for a while.
No, I got moved over to Boomerang,
Yay.
I think.
I like that one joke with Daphne and the sock puppet, and that was about it. And I lost.
I didn't hate it, but it was just kind of like, well... It was different. I really like Mystery Incorporated. Yeah. I really enjoyed Mystery Incorporated.
Well, Mystery Incorporated was an amazing show. Like, I really it's hard to explain to people that, like, Scooby-Doo had a good cartoon in the last, like...
It's like when Zombie Island came out. You're like, dude, no, Scooby-Doo's real now. It's
yeah. It was... Mystery Incorporated was a great show. I'm sad that didn't get the acclaim it should have.
Well, It and Ben 10 both got the worst death treatment ever, where they air it at like really early in the day to where kids aren't even home yet, and they just aired every episode at once a day on a weekday until they ran out. Both Ben 10 and Mystery Incorporated.
It got that one. What was it? That time the Soup had a clip of Mystery Incorporated. That's how I found out about it.
That's
because they had that clip where like they catch a monster. And they take the mask off, and it's like a teacher, and they're like
Professor Emmanuel Ruffalo.
That's right. I was trying to scare people away from the sewers while I dug my way into the bank and got rich.
But you've got a job as a teacher. Why do you need more money? Oh, yeah, my bad.
I'm butchering this joke, but it was like really hilarious, and I was like, man, if Scooby-Doo's like that, I want to watch it. But then it never got any. And that's the most media attention it got.
And we got a John Cena movie. Like that's where we went from Mystery Incorporated, a John Cena Scooby-Doo movie.
Yeah, they didn't really. They care about Scooby-Doo making money, but they don't care about the brand.
Yeah, well, that's Hanna-Barbera. They'll just they're like, what can we do to make more money? Oh, Fred Flintstone enters a wrestling match. Yeah. Like, kids love wrestling, right?
Oh, but that connects to a news report we got.
Yeah, what's up?
Because Surf's Up 2 has been announced for straight-to-video, and it's going to be called Surf's Up 2 WaveMania, starring Ed McMahon, John Cena, The Undertaker, and other wrestlers I don't know.
What the fuck?
Wait. Ed McMahon.
Yes.
That's the takeaway, guys. Don't talk about the wrestlers. How'd they get Ed McMahon?
He showed up with a lot of money.
I'm not making this up. This is happening.
Wait, is it?
Yeah, look, there's like
Ed McMahon dead. Did you mean Ed McMahon?
Oh, wait. I don't know. Is that the guy who I'm talking about? I don't know wrestling.
You mean the announcer guy?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Ed McMahon died in 2009.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Oh, my God.
Using all archive footage.
That would be Sir Laurence Olivier like they did in Sky Captain.
Maybe what they did is he recorded it a really long time ago, and he's like, I want 7 years after I die to be involved in the Surf's Up 2 sequel. And they're like, really? That's your legacy? Go, I really like Surf's Up, guys. I really like.
I will record every word in the English language in different variations. That way you can piece together what my script is.
There is no way that would not sound horrible.
I don't understand why they're doing this. Like, I saw Surf's Up.
Yeah, let Ed McMahon rest.
Okay. You just put a microphone next to his grave and waited for him to talk.
I'll let this joke go. Sorry.
No, I liked the first Surf's Up well enough. I thought it was a decent animated kids movie. It wasn't anything more than that. I thought it was fun and was funny at times, but I don't understand the need for a sequel, especially when you're not going to get the voice actors back. I mean, I know that's not really a factor in general, but like, there were a lot of big people in Surf's Up. Shia LaBeouf, John Heder, Zooey Deschanel.
They're not getting
James Woods was in there. Like, I just don't understand. Like, I don't know. I'm very frustrated by this news.
I think the best part is the subtitle is WaveMania. Like they know, like they actually look like the wrestlers. What is with the wrestling thing like going into every like kids market right now? They're hitting it hard.
Well, the WWE is its own entertainment network, so they're shoving their agenda into all the kids' faces with like Scooby Doo and Flintstones, and now Surf's Up.
Were kids really into Surf's Up? I mean,
why is the Undertaker a surfing penguin?
Oh, that's the best part.
They're all surfing penguins.
Why?
Well,
John
the otter
Cena,
over
I
there.
can almost see. John Cena as a surfing penguin, I could see, but like,
okay, first off, the Undertaker as a penguin is amazing.
Well, yeah, the Undertaker's a penguin, but not a surfing penguin.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's where
I know. That's where I draw the line.
Well, no, I say that's appropriate because it is a Surf's Up sequel. If they weren't surfing penguins, that just would make no sense.
Who's the guy on the left? All the way on the left.
Oh, that's Vince McMahon. That's
okay.
That's how we got into this.
Oh shit! I said Ed McMahon. Whoops.
So I don't know much about wrestling, but I see Vince McMahon, John Cena, and The Undertaker. I don't know who the other two are.
Is that like his son or what? I don't get it.
Is that Brock Lesnar? I don't know.
I think Ed McMahon and Vince McMahon aren't related.
Oh.
Sorry.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm very disappointed. It's called WaveMania and not WaveMania. Like it's a little kind of ruins the whole thing.
Well, so why can't they? Why would they be surfers? Why wouldn't it be them wrestling?
It's this movie is called Surf's Up. What do you want them to do?
Like,
well, they're Jesus.
I mean, is this going to become like? I don't understand how this is all working. Like, what character? What's the continuity with the original Surf's Up?
I mean,
I don't. Well, I guess we'll have to wait and rent it. Jim.
Yeah, because it's going straight to video.
They're really trying to capture your imagination here. It's like, there's probably not going to be a trailer. It's just this image is the trailer, and that's like. That's
I mean, I'll say this: this is a really good trailer. I mean. What they should have done to make this a better trailer is had the Surf's Up original music played slower and sad, and then have it slowly build in our remembrance, and then have like a really cool character give a monologue, and then show the end fight sequence, and then go coming 2016.
Oh man!
Like what it should be is like the movie comes out and the entire film is just a still image of this one exact image
for an hour and a half.
I mean. I would watch it. I'm saying right now. I'd see it in theaters. If it had a limited, like 2 theater dump out kind of thing, I would see it.
Oh, yeah. I'll be there. I'm in New York. I'll go with you, Jim.
Okay, we'll go together. It'll be a date.
Jim and Gary, it serves up too.
But hey, it's also, the animation is going to be done by Rainmaker Entertainment.
Why does that name sound familiar?
They're the ones that did the Ninja Turtle movie.
Beast War. No. That's IG. But this is Rainmaker did Beast Wars. Tony Hawk's Boom Boom Sabotage.
Oh, okay. That's why. Because
okay.
We're getting the Boom Boom Sabotage equivalent to Surf's Up too.
Yeah. Oh man,
that's what we're getting.
More surfing montages.
Tomorrow is so far away, so live today. Tomorrow is so far away. We live to skate. Tomorrow is so far away, so live today. Tomorrow is so far away. Skate, skate, skate. Skate, skate, skate.
Skate, skate, skate. Oh, it's a surf now.
Yeah.
I will hope they wrestle while surfing, like on the wave, like they have to like fight for the wave.
Well, Steph, that's a guarantee. That's a guarantee. You just, you don't even
give them the board.
They could be surfing, and then a shark comes out, and they wrestle the shark, and then jump back on the board and win the surfing competition. That's what they should do.
Why is this a thing? I don't like. I agree with Jim. I don't get the wrestling incorporation to a lot of things lately.
I didn't until I thought about that shark thing, and now I'm like, I get it. They're just going to wrestle sharks while surfing.
If you just predicted a scene from the trailer, I'm going to just lose my shit when that pops up. I'm really going to lose my shit.
I'm gonna admit something. I wrote Surf's Up too.
Oh,
And this was like I just kept copying and pasting every surfing sequence, and Vince McMahon was like, "That is brilliant, Jim. We're making this movie," and that's how it happened.
I really want to imagine a room of just business executives, and the WrestleMania, the people come, and like there's no talking. They just put a picture of a shark being wrestled, and it's just a slow clap. That's how they sold Surf's Up 2, the Flintstone movie, and the Scooby-Doo movie.
I really don't like the little bird in bondage gear. I really don't like that.
Hey, I don't know. I think she. Never mind. I was going to say something inappropriate, but never mind.
Man, is there something you're not?
Look, I'm not a furry, but. So, next bit of news.
Wait, hold on. Before we move on, I just noticed Vince McMahon isn't a penguin; he's an otter.
Ooh,
Oh no.
Okay, sorry. Anyway, moving on. Sorry.
All right. So, anything else to say about Surf's Up 2 WaveMania?
no, less the better.
I'm excited. I need to. Maybe I should do like a video of all three of like wrestling those cartoons with Scooby-Doo, Flintstones, and now this like a marathon.
The
But
wrestling.
Wait, I do have one more thing to say. Will the John Cena theme be in it?
How could it not? What's the point in casting him? I mean,
It's done on a ukulele though. Do, 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 do.
No.
Well, like, because that's a weird trend we got going on currently. Is like, so like it always happens in threes. You have like the 3 wrestling movies, but then before that, we also had like this weird trend of old designs meeting new designs, like the Ninja Turtles, Turtles Forever, Sonic Generations. I feel like there's another one that the Simpsons did it. Like just this weird like trend of like newer versions of characters meeting the older version of characters, and not in like time travel.
The Turtles one was the best one.
I kind of hated the Turtles one. I think we talked about this the last time I was on the podcast. I thought it was kind of insulting that they made the original one so dumb.
Kind of was.
I like that they even had the comic in it, although it doesn't. They aren't like the comic at all. But I liked it as a fan service thing, but I didn't like It's no secret of the ooze.
No, of course. Well, Vanilla Ice wasn't in it, so
yeah.
It's not.
Yeah.
Okay, so we can all agree that Ninja Turtles 2 is the best Ninja Turtle movie.
No,
Come on.
Turtles
One's the best. Come.
Okay, one's fundamentally good story. I think number 2 is the more fun to watch.
Like the number 1 had that arcade place with all the smoking.
Yes, Pan's got it.
And then everyone became a donkey and were forced to work in mines.
And then it is. Oh my god! I thought I was the only one who understood that.
Cinematic parallels.
You guys never thought, like, when I saw it more recently, I went, holy shit, this is Pinocchio.
It is pleasure. They turn into ninjas instead of donkeys.
Like, because instead of them being like, you can smoke cigarettes and play billiards in the 90s, it was like you can play video games and eat pizza.
But they show the billiards. There's billiards there.
Oh, there's
and
billiards?
there's smoking.
Yeah.
And there's
Oh, shit. Fuck, this is so deep.
I put that together years ago, and I didn't know anybody else had thought of that.
No, I think it's like if you've seen Pinocchio and Ninja Turtles in close proximity, you figure it out,
Yeah, it is my. Oh, also, Sam Rockwell is part of the Foot Clan in that.
Yeah, he is. He is.
Yeah.
As a child.
Yeah.
Okay, next news.
Okay, well, I just like to say we have the Fan Chunk playlist. If you have any videos related to RebelTaxi or the Pizza Party podcast, email them to me at rebeltaxi@yahoo.com, and they can't just be some bullshit. It has to be something with effort or something. But anyway, we have the Fan Deviant Art and the Fan Reddit all in the description. So, next bit of news, Ice Age 5. Who cares?
Yep, next.
Big Hero 6 is getting a TV series for late 2016. We have no idea how it's going to look or how it's going to be animated, but whatever, yeah.
Well, we've seen an image of Baymax.
We know what Baymax looks like.
Well, I mean, in the 2D form, we know what
it's going to be 2D?
Yeah, did you not see the picture of the preview?
I didn't know it was going to be 2D, no.
Yeah, well, at least the image I saw with the newsletter about that was a 2D Baymax. It's got kind of not thin outlines like you see with most modern day cartoons right now, but it wasn't really thick outlines either. It was really vectory looking.
Kind of cell shaded?
Yeah, cell shaded ish.
Oh, okay, that's good. That's a step in the right direction for me.
But why are they not doing a TV sequel movie?
I think they're doing both.
Yeah,
they are? Because I know that merchandise sold real well. So I guess that's why they're going to just
those figures were great.
I think they're going to try to do the equivalent of How to Train Your Dragon, like how they had like movies and TV series.
Good business model.
But this is their variation of it.
But
because it's interesting, I was thinking with Zootopia, Pixar now does more sequels than Disney does.
Isn't that sad?
Ouch.
What I'm really looking forward to was I love Big Hero 6. I think it's a solid movie. It suffers from originitis, like where it's just like it's so focused on the origin of Hero that you don't get a lot of time with the other characters.
Yeah.
But with the series, I mean, like, I think all comic book things work better as TV shows because you can do kind of one-off stories and still have continuity going at the same time. So I'm really excited to see where they take it. I really like, I mean, like, one of the things that I loved about Big Hero 6 was the San Francisco, is that how you say it?
Yeah.
I know a lot of people were pissed off about it, but I thought the look of it was, like, beautiful. I thought, like, all of the little, like, quirks about it were great. And I like the characters. I think a lot more could have been done with the characters in the first one. I wanted to see more interactions with them all. They kind of just all this generic, like, oh, let's all beat on Fred, or like, you know, Go-Go's like the tough girl kind of thing. Like, they just didn't really get enough into the characters' individual personalities. And it might be a lot to ask from that from a Disney superhero movie, but like, I don't know. They just all felt like they had a lot more.
Well, the plot was too focused on Baymax and Hero was the problem.
It might as well just be them only.
Yeah, I didn't.
Have done it any other way.
Yeah, why did they have those other characters? It just felt like they were just kind of shoehorned into a script that was.
And it's a shame because they're well designed and funny characters.
Well, they're not too well designed because they pretty much look like the cast of 16.
That's a stretch, man.
You know it's true. Like, look up the cast of 16. Look at Big Hero 6.
I'll take a look. I kind of see what you're saying, but like,
it's there. It's there. Like, obviously, if you put them two together next to each other, it won't look like it. But like, they hit the same like surfer dude,
yes,
fashionista, grunge girl, and then
Asian girl with a highlight in her hair.
By the way, I actually ran into someone that was Asian and had purple highlight, and I was like, it does happen. It's not just in the movies.
Wait, Asian people or with highlight?
The purple hair streak.
Oh, okay.
The Asian woman. Because like you see it so often in every movie that there's always like it's either purple or blue. Like there's always like a cool colored streak in their hair with Scott Pilgrim, the Pacific Rim, Big Hero 6. Like it's just a really weird stereotypical trait for female.
I've heard it's a cultural thing. I'm not sure.
Okay, but I got really excited because I actually ran into a lady that had it.
Like, did you put in your bingo cards? Like, yes, I found this one in real life. Yes.
Knock that off the bucket list.
I gotta find a bully that wears a Letterman jacket next.
What are you trying to find the cast of Spectacular Spider-Man in real life or something?
Yeah. I'm excited for this though. I think it could be really fun.
Yeah,
I hope they do well with it. And I think the original voice cast is going to be pretty easy to get.
Mm-hmm.
So, TJ Miller does tons of voiceover, and everyone else is kind of relatively unknown.
Can we stop for a moment? TJ Miller needs to stop being in live action stuff because he's not good. He's great at voice acting.
I disagree with you.
Whoa, what about he was funny in Deadpool and he's funny on Silicon Valley.
And
I haven't seen Silicon Valley, but Deadpool is more awkward than anything.
How dare you?
Sorry, but I didn't like him in Transformers, and I didn't like him in this.
Oh, Transformers, nobody's good in.
But I don't know. It's so far 2 strikes where I'm just kind of like, I love him. I love him as Robbie on Gravity Falls, and I love him as Fred. I love his voice. I don't know. Visually, I just don't think he's really that funny.
I love him on I loved him in I mean he was in Cloverfield. He was the guy holding the camera in Cloverfield.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he was also in was it She's Out of Your League, which I thought he was like the funniest part of the movie. I remember seeing that. I'm like, I hope this guy takes off, and he did. So like. I've liked him. I don't know. I don't see anything like offensively bad about him.
I don't think offensive. I'm just like I'm starting to see like him in movies where he's kind of like not the main character, but he's the best friend and he's supposed to be witty, but like I don't know. He doesn't like hit me. He doesn't tickle my funny bone.
He wasn't even when he talked about an older avocado having sex with an avocado.
I love my favorite line in the movie is where he's just like,
I want to go with you, but I don't feel like it.
Yeah, exactly.
He's one of those guys where like just his timing is everything. Like
Yeah.
Mitch Hedberg, where it's like some of the jokes are like old Borscht Belt kind of jokes, but he just delivers that in such a perfect way that you aren't thinking about it, you're just laughing.
Yeah. Look, Stev, look up the it's a comedy bit he does about how he had like some kind of like brain issue where he had to be rushed to the hospital. That is one of the funniest bits of stand-ups I've ever heard. Like, it's so... I can't remember what it's I forgot what the series is called, but it's on YouTube. Just search TJ Miller, like, brain aneurysm. Like, it's hilarious.
Well, be careful. That's a popular search item.
Yeah. But Big Hero 6, like, if you saw the concept art, there was so many ideas that they wanted to use, but they just couldn't fit into the movie. So
yeah.
That art better as a TV series.
Well, will they bring in, like... Oh, I guess they can't bring in a lot of the original comic. They'll get to go.
No, I think the original comic's garbage compared to the movie.
Well, the original comic has so little to do with the movie. Just Hero and Baymax, I think, were the only because they can't bring in
Go-Go and Fred and
that's right
in it. But the problem was, and it's funny that there were a lot of like people were having problem with the fact that like the characters were whitewashed. Which I mean, to be fair, they are. But at the same time, like if you read Chris Claremont's like Big Hero 6, like. He has such like a vague understanding of how to write like Japanese people. Like it's kind of insulting. So I'm kind of glad they strayed away from it. I can understand people's concerns with it getting whitewashed, but I think it was overall for the better because it would have been very hard to kind of like appease everybody.
Claremont's writing of Asian culture, like when he did the Wolverine Goes to Japan arc, that's like really good.
Yes.
But it works better when he's an outsider looking in rather than him trying to represent a culture that he doesn't understand.
Exactly. Absolutely.
Yeah, the other problem with the comic is that it involves X-Men characters and Fox owns X-Men.
Yeah.
So it gets into the whole, like, I'm sure a bunch of lawyers had to sit in a room all weekend and debate how much of Big Hero 6 Marvel, because they did have that. They had a long legal argument over how to deal with Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch and what the terminology they could use and what they couldn't use. Like, I'm not joking.
Mutant. They couldn't use the word mutant, basically.
Yeah, they couldn't use the word mutant. They couldn't acknowledge who their dad was in the Marvel movies.
Yeah.
And then in the Fox movies, they couldn't refer to themselves as Avengers.
Yeah.
It was like, there's like, I wish someone would release the document on what studio can do what with each, but it's like there was a whole because there are certain characters in the Marvel universe that are essential to one character and another one, and so they had to, and so when you buy like Spider-Man, you buy all the rights to everyone associated with him.
Mm-hmm.
And so then like Kingpin was one where they had to have an argument over, is that a Spider-Man villain or a Daredevil villain, and who's
he came out as Daredevil.
They eventually did Daredevil, yeah, but they actually do have legal, like they have I guess, what are they called? Not trials, but intermediaries or something like that.
Yeah,
they have like a whole discussion over, which is so bizarre, over who gets that toy in their sandbox. And
I'd love to be the lawyer who has to deal with all this, because just the terminology you'd be using, it's like, my client says you cannot use the character Maggot in Fantastic Four because that belongs to X-Men or something that.
They could actually, if you read the comic, they could actually get Sunfire away from X-Men because X-Men never uses Sunfire.
Yes, exactly. And
so they could legally, I think they'd have the press.
And I was going to bring up.
Anyway, this is.
Go ahead.
This is super boring. Let's move.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, I was going to bring that up, that Tadashi, I think, is going to turn out to be Sunfire. That's what I think is going to happen. That's going to be Big Hero 7.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. All right. So, Gary, you have any news that you wanted to report on?
Yes, I do, and I'm so glad to be talking about this. So, for those of you who follow me on Twitter or whatever, you know that I do some work for TROMA. TROMA Entertainment, a very long-running independent movie production company run by Lloyd Kaufman. If anybody's a fan of Angry Video Game Nerd, you'll know the Toxic Crusaders episode that Lloyd guest starred on.
What about Lloyd Kaufman, creator of the Toxic Avenger? What would he think? Well, guess what? He's sitting here right next to me.
Greetings from Tromaville.
Lloyd Kaufman from fucking TROMA is here. This is the first time we've had a creator here in the room.
And Lloyd Kaufman is one of my favorite directors, nerd.
Let me cut you off on that, but angry video game nerd fans hate that episode, but I loved it.
I love it too. I don't even before I started working for Trauma, I love that episode.
Yeah.
It's
Lloyd guy is going to be at
especially I guess if you know Lloyd, it's that much funnier. But basically, we're throwing our first animated film festival in New York City. Oh, sorry, I should say in Brooklyn on April 30th at Lucky 13. It's called TROMA Animated. And it's a festival for independent animators to come off and show off their short films or whatever they have, what they want to put into the festival, and meet each other. And yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be, like I said, April 30th at Lucky 13 Saloon in Brooklyn. Guests we have so far include Maxwell Adams and John Dilworth. I just also I'm kind of in works to get Yukino Joe, if anyone's familiar with him, to stop by. And I guess to put the cherry on top of it all, when I was talking to Max about what he could bring to the festival, dead meat was on the table, but he said he wasn't going to be able to get it done in time. So I had suggested that Max see if he can transfer the original Billy and Mandy college film to digital, to a digital conversion of it and bring it to Troma. And last time I talked to him, we were pretty set on it. Like, he had found the film, he'd been working on it. So chances are you're going to get to see that if you come. If you cannot come, we are also going to be streaming the event live. We'll have times that you could check out for like a time frame for you to check out. Also, as far as submissions go, we don't have them open yet, but they should be open in the next week or two. I guess the best thing to do would either be follow me on Twitter or follow me on Tumblr to see when I announce that. But it should be coming soon. We're very excited.
So is there an official site that people can follow for more information?
Yeah, absolutely.
I'll link it in the
aside from
description.
aside from me, you could go to you could follow Troma on Twitter and Facebook. If you just search Troma, it should be Troma Entertainment. That's TROMA, Troma Entertainment. And yeah, that should be fine. And yeah, I guess I'd like to thank Lloyd Kaufman for really kind of like letting me kind of start this up. It was really cool of him to just let me pitch it to him, and we're doing it now. And I'd like to thank John Brennan, who helped me out with setting it all up and getting the venue and doing all that.
Yeah. So yeah, the Billy and Mandy college pilot, the original pilot that has never been seen before, is going to be released because Maxwell Adams just had it lying in a closet, still in a reel, like a tape reel.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like I said, the last time I had talked to him, he said, like, I got it and I'm working on transferring it. But I think we're going to see it, and I'm very, very excited to. So if you're in the New York, Brooklyn area, please stop by on April 30th. More information will be coming out soon, and also, I'm really, really excited.
You said the John Dilworth, the creator of Courage the Cowardly Dog, is also there.
Yes, and well as he'll be airing the Fog of Courage, I believe. Yeah, we'll be doing a special screening of that as well as a Q&A with both people. And like I said, Yukino Joe has agreed to come. We're just still working out specifics, but if you're familiar with Blahnik or Great the Show or anything he's done.
Beverly Falls,
yeah, absolutely. He'll most likely be there as well, and more guests will be announced, hopefully. That's right, and we have a special introduction that I cannot give away. I almost feel like saying it just to have it censored. Can I do that?
Sure, I'll cut it out.
We'll be doing the intro for the festival, and as well as a storyboard artist on Adventure Time.
Can I leave the Adventure Time part in?
Probably not. I guess if people want to grasp at straws to see who it is.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so yes, they'll be there doing an intro. I've already edited it, and it's really cool that he did it for us, or I should say they did it, because we don't know. Just cut that part out. It's really cool that they did it for us. Definitely thankful that we got them.
So if you're in New York, go to that. But more info in the description. We'll have a link to the Troma Film Festival.
Troma Animated is the name of the festival.
Troma Animated Film Festival.
Yes.
And it's only April 30th. So.
Only April 30th. I think we're going to try to do from 5 to 11, 5 p.m. to 11 p.m. And then sometimes we have an after show. Also, since it's a saloon, we're working on getting wristbands, so make sure everybody can get in, all that good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to try. I don't know if I can go but I'm going to try to go to that.
Sure, absolutely.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
That's awesome. I wish I lived in New York.
Because that sounds really cool. I would like
But
to
yeah,
go to that.
yeah, for sure. Like I said, we're also going to live stream it, so that information will be up soon. The entire thing we're live streaming, all the films, the panels, all that good stuff. We're gonna stream.
Cool.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So if you're just hanging out at your apartment, you can watch it.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, that's the goal. And I definitely love animation, and this is something really cool to be involved with. And I think anybody who loves animation and independent animation, especially kind of stuff that doesn't get seen very often, is going to be blown away by some of the stuff we have coming up for TROMA in general. So we're very excited.
Okay, cool.
is it possible for me to get a cut of the Billy and Mandy pilot early?
That's probably going to be handed off to me in like a locked box that can only be opened at the very right moments.
God damn.
So I don't know. We're still working with Max. He's been very cool to work with, though. And I mean, both Max and John. So like you did your interviews with them. Both insanely nice and really supportive of like everything TROMA does for young animators and people who are just starting out. Like the whole point really is to kind of get indie animation out there, because I feel like, unless you're partnered with a bigger company on YouTube or you're to working at networks, it's really hard to get your stuff out there, and we want to provide a venue to really get it out there.
All right, so is that all for the news, I guess?
Ghostbusters.
Oh, crap! The new Ghostbusters trailer came out!
Oh, hell no, the devil is a liar! Get out of my friend, Ghost!
Ow, that's gonna leave a mark.
The power of pain compels you!
Ow!
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ghostbusters! What do you guys think?
I don't really hate it that much, but I find a lot of the controversy, like I've heard people say, if you really want to see how disgusting modern society is, go on the YouTube comments on the Ghostbusters trailer. But it's like, I didn't think it was awful. It's just kind of a normal trailer. And most of the complaints I heard from people, I was like, it sounds to me like you're complaining about trailers, but like, I can't, it's like when I see it a lot in older films, they'll complain about all this stuff, and I'm like, that's just kind of classic Hollywood, so you can't just put all that on this trailer, because it's just like the slow music at the beginning, and I mean, we still haven't seen the villain. There's a lot of plot elements.
We've seen him.
We've seen the villain quite a bit.
Oh, well, that's true, because the toy thing. No, you're right. We have seen the villain.
I have no idea what's going on, but yeah, I didn't see the toys because, I don't know.
Spoilers to who the new Ghostbusters villain is. Skip to 1 hour, 4 minutes, 30 seconds.
I guess, can we put a spoiler in here? Does it matter?
Yeah. So spoiler, the main villain, the big baddie, is going to be the logo.
Which is kind of lame.
What?
Yeah, the ghost looks like the logo.
What?
Yes.
What?
According to the toy line.
What the what?
Yeah. Yeah, this is
the logo?
Yeah.
Oh my god, it's following the plot of the Atari game.
What the fuck?
The logo is integral to the plot.
Logo.
Wait. Gary's right. Oh my god. So everyone's saying this is not true to the original Ghostbusters, but no, they're going and they're taking pieces from the entire franchise. They're going deeper than you ever expected. Atari game.
It's so weird when people say it.
I mean, I find that hilarious, but it's like, what? What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the fucking logo is gonna kill them?
To be more specific, the ghost in the logo.
That thing's not very threatening.
It's not, and that, okay.
I could kick that thing's ass.
So we're gonna breaking this down a little bit.
Imagine it with sharp teeth.
Then it just looks like Oogie Boogie. Hello?
The logo. I don't know. That'd be funny if it was legitimately the fucking logo. Like it's like, imagine in I think Superman 2, where Superman grabs his own Superman S on his chest and throws the S at Zod.
Yeah.
No, I want the ghost with like a Captain American shield, but it's the no.
Well, I mean, did you think the trailer was that bad? I just don't.
I thought it was like there wasn't any like oh my god, it's hilarious parts, but like I mean, it's trailer syndrome, you know? Like I think people are like, I mean, most of the bitching I heard about was like, there's no practical effects. I'm like, yeah, it's modern day movies.
Actually, some of the ghosts were actually well, hang on, I guess we should wait until Gary gets in.
Yeah.
Wait, were they real ghosts?
Oh fuck! What if they are?
If they got real ghosts, that'd be cool.
Oh my god!
Hello.
There we go. We got him.
Oh my god! The ghost broke everything.
Yeah, even Skype was like a ghost logo. What?
that was just like my Hitler joke 2 weeks ago.
Overall, the trailer was just eh.
Yeah. I think we talked about it a little before, and I think the biggest problem I have is that the characters are all kind of trying to be the funny one, and that's not, you know, if like in any kind of comedy, every character trying to be the funny one never really works out. You need different personality types to make a comedy work. In the original
contrast to have, you know, conflict.
Exactly. And it just looks like all of them, the conflict kind of comes from them doing dumb things like putting on a wig. And that's a joke that she puts on a wig.
I mean,
I didn't think it was that bad.
The thing with that trailer, I mean, there are problems I can tell with that movie. I've thought with that movie for a long time. But with that trailer, I think the problem is you can tell there's not a Venkman. There's kind of a Egon and a whoever.
Kind of.
There's a Ray. There's definitely the excited to help out person.
Kind of
there's like everybody, but there's not a Venkman, or at least you couldn't tell that from at least this point.
That was my biggest complaint too, is that like the girl that's supposed to be playing that character, that like, because you know obviously Egon, I don't know their actual names yet. I know Betty.
Gone.
Yeah, so Fem Peter doesn't have nearly as much charisma as Bill Murray does, and that's not fair because no one has that much.
Who's supposed to be the Bill Murray part?
That would be the skinny redhead.
Kristen Wiig?
Yeah, her.
Really?
Yeah, because Melissa McCarthy, that's the bigger lady.
That's Ray.
She's Ray. She's clearly Ray about like we can help people. You know, like she's the one pushing forward the heart of the group.
The only thing that I found real interesting was how many people were like, "Oh, well, Leslie Jones is playing a stereotype," and I was like, have you seen Leslie Jones on SNL? That's like how she acts.
That's her whole shtick.
Like, yeah, that's her. Like I heard a lot of that.
She's aware of it.
Yeah, it was like she seemed to be being. I was like, oh, that's Leslie Jones to me. But the other thing is, I think it's Paul Feig, and if you know Paul Feig movies, that seemed to me like a normal Paul Feig trailer. It was just less funny, you know. And like the main thing I'm worried about with it is Paul Feig can't really direct action. Yeah, and that's a major concern of mine. But I am wondering how many of the people who are writing Facebook statuses on this trailer will even have an opinion when this movie comes out. Because it's like every time there's a trailer, there's a million opinions, and then the movie comes out and it like lessens to like a selected few who actually would pay to see it. So I'm wondering what it's going to be like when this movie opens. But I don't think it'll be that great. I mean, to be honest. Well, because I'm still curious.
It's really odd because a lot of people kind of like go for the like everyone that has a criticism for it, like Angry Joe or whatever. I've watched a couple of like reaction videos. They're always like, it's not because they're all female. Like they always have to like bring up that part. And because this movie already was going to have criticism no matter what. And one of those things is they tend to magnify as people hear some, you know, like if someone hears it's a bad movie, they look at the trailer, they automatically think it's bad because they're in the mindset that it's going to be bad. Mm-hmm. And like if this wasn't a Ghostbuster movie and we just saw a random trailer, it was a meh trailer. Yeah. Like I don't think it was like awful. It wasn't like, you know, offensive. And then at this point, everyone's trying to find something offensive about it. Oh, the Betty character, she's over. You know, she's not a scientist. She's a you know. She's a black stereotype, et cetera, Why can't the black lady be the scientist? But it's like, this is supposed to be hitting parallels to the original movie.
Meanwhile, we discussed this before. She does have some kind of knowledge of engineering because she knows all of everything about the New York City subways.
Right.
Like, she's very intelligent in that. Like, she knows, like, engineering at some degree.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And she's the reason they have a car, which is something they never explained in the original movie, and that's important to me.
I think they bought it.
I think that controversy is absolutely ridiculous because I feel like you haven't seen the movie, you don't know what she knows, what she doesn't know. She's just coming off as Leslie Jones, and that's all you're seeing. And honestly, I like Leslie Jones. I think she can be really funny. If you watch the I don't know if you've seen the SNL sketch where they do like a ghost hunters thing. And she's kind of like the skeptic that comes in and like she's automatically scared by everything in the house. Like that's her timing on that is hilarious. Like she's got amazing timing. I just think the problem more or less is the writing in this movie just looks very generic. It doesn't have that same improv feel as the movie, as the original movie.
The thing with the trailer also is that, you know, as it being a trailer of a Paul Feig film, all of his trailers are never as good. Like, the funniest parts are never in the trailers, which is always better if you're seeing the movie. So I feel like you know, the best parts of Spy, they didn't really put in the trailer. The Spy looked awful in those trailers. Like, when the car falls over, you're like, okay, what the hell? And, like, that movie's actually pretty funny. And I think, you know, I'm waiting for the movie, but I don't think it was a weak trailer. It reminded me of the Pixels trailer, which a lot
that's exactly the feeling I got while watching it.
The other thing is that's going to strike this movie out is since Ghostbusters, how many movies have tried to be Ghostbusters and failed?
Evolution.
And the only Evolution.
I don't think that failed.
You know what? Evolution is hilarious.
I like that one a lot.
But like none of them have done, like, except for like Men in Black, none of them have been as successful. And it's like, when I was after the trailer, I was thinking like, you know, this is probably one of the hardest genres to do, like supernatural humor, because like most of the time it like fucking sucks. And, you know, I mean, frankly, maybe they should have gotten more of an action director. That probably be a better idea. Like, they should have asked Edgar Wright at least.
I suggested James Gunn. James after Guardians, he's control.
I don't think James.
Wait, didn't James Gunn have like an idea for a Ghostbusters movie?
I think he probably Max Landis did.
Well, of course, Max Landis has an idea for everything. You know? Max Landis has as many.
Your
as
mileage may vary with his ideas.
Yeah.
Who was the one you said that had an idea with Audrey Plaza? As...
Oh no. Okay, so I saw somebody suggest, it was a commenter suggest a James Gunn directed Ghostbusters with Aubrey Plaza as Kylie from Extreme Ghostbusters as the Bill Murray-ish lead. And I think you need somebody like an Aubrey Plaza to have that deadpan sarcasm that Bill Murray had. And you need maybe like, honestly, like, I also proposed this to my friend, like, it's a shame that Emma Stone passed on this because I could have seen Emma Stone doing the Ray Stantz character really well. Like, I could have seen her kind of being elated by everything and excited by everything going on. Like, Melissa McCarthy's a great actress. You know, I think she gets a bad rap because she's tried to or I should say studios have tried to replicate the success of Bridesmaids over and over again. But like, I mean, like going back to like her on Gilmore Girls, she was really funny on that show. And like she just gets a really bad rap for being kind of like, you know, oh no, she's the silly fat person. Like she's not. She's got more range than like a Chris Farley or like a Jim Belushi or something like that. No. Like, and I differentiate between John and Jim because Jim Belushi did have range.
Yeah, and Chris Farley wanted to expand off just being the fat guy.
Yeah, well, both of them did. Yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Well, she works best when she's with Paul Feig, though. So if she's gonna, like, I think she could be good in this, but you see so little of her. It's like, how would you?
Yeah, and I gotta say, not a fan of the Chris Hemsworth casting. I think that's really cheap and like I don't understand. Like, I get they're trying to subvert and like gender bend everything, but like they kind of make him into like a sex symbol. But Janine wasn't like a sex symbol in the original movie. Like she was just Janine.
Wait, hold up! Don't go too far with this. Right? Maybe just for you, but
look,
for me,
cartoon Janine and regular Janine, you know, are two different things.
I'm down with both.
Mm-hmm. I think Annie Potts is a very cute woman. I did have a little bit of a crush on her, but like she wasn't like Hemsworth, like like who's like
for me, she's my Hemsworth. So
she's your Hemsworth. Okay, if it works for you, then it works for you.
I mean, she could answer my phone any day.
Oh, I agree, but I don't know. I kind of see where you're coming from, though.
A lot of people are complaining about, like, how dare they use CGI. It's like,
What else are they going to use?
this is modern day. What do you expect? It's like,
it is unfortunate that, we are kind of foregoing practical effects. But I did hear that a lot of the ghosts in the movie are they're people, like they're actual actors that they used practical effects on, and enhanced with CGI. But a lot of those ghosts in Times Square look like garbage.
I mean, they had lights strapped onto them to give the glowing effect, and they just enhanced that to make them look more ghostly in the...
Which is how you should do. It's really how you should approach CGI.
It's not complete CGI. The ghosts are still real people.
That first scene rubbed me the wrong way because it's clearly a remake of the first scene from the original movie, and then mixed with the sliming scene from the original movie. And I just automatically I was like, well, you're already telling me that you have no new ideas. Like that was my problem.
Here's the weird thing, like the trailer opens up with like 30 years ago, these people saved the city, and is this like a complete reboot or is this in the same
I don't
universe?
know. They haven't addressed that. That's the crazy thing.
No, it's going to be what they call a legacy sequel.
A soft reboot?
Or no, like basically what Force Awakens was. Like where I know Bill Murray has a cameo, and I think he still has his talk show from 2, and Aykroyd's in there. And obviously Harold Ramis isn't, but I'm not sure about Ernie Hudson, but
he would jump in it. That guy, he doesn't really have much of a career besides Ghostbusters.
No,
Ernie Hudson's like a cable TV staple. He'll show up on shows all the time.
I know, but like that's what I'm saying. He shows up the most like anything that he can get. So like, I don't think he would be like, no, I'm too big for Ghostbusters.
Well, he was the only person who came out and said he wasn't for the female casting.
There was. I think I don't know. I've met him before. He's a pretty nice guy, and he is very humble when you meet him. Like he's just excited to meet like every single fan.
I know that he was the only original like cast member from the movie that tried to be on the cartoon and got turned down.
Oh. Yeah, they replaced him with Arsenio.
Yeah, he auditioned and didn't get his own character.
I mean, the only reason this is happening now, it's not essentially because of Jurassic World or something. It's because Bill Murray stopped them from doing it for so long, and then they eventually came up with a way that they could get it to work finally.
So it's
like
a movie made out of spite.
No, well, it's a movie he didn't want 2 to happen, and he eventually was nicer about it. Like Bill Murray took one for the team for a lot of years, but eventually they came up with a way where they didn't need to use him at all, and came up with a script that was semi good enough, because the other script sounded awful, where like he was a ghost, Venkman was a ghost, or there was a version in the 90s where like Ben Stiller and Chris Rock were going to be the new Ghostbusters. Like also like this is they've been trying, and Chris Farley, I think this has been in development for so long that like they eventually found one that they thought was going to work. I'm curious if this will actually be good. I think it would be decent. I don't think it's going to be a home. It'll be like the newer Ninja Turtles, where people are like, that was fine, whatever, and hopefully the sequel will be better.
Well, as long as it's better than Ghostbusters 2, it should be fine.
Yeah, I mean, that's if they're at least better than Ghostbusters 2, but I don't even know if it'll be that good. I mean, it's really interesting. The history of it is really interesting because Ghostbusters 3 was a go at one point where they had the original. No, it was a new cast with cameos from the original. It was a Harold Ramis script, but then he released Year One, that Jack Black, Michael Cera movie, and that destroyed Ghostbusters 3 for the longest time. Wow.
So
also, didn't a lot of Ghostbusters 3 script go into the video game, which is unofficially the third movie?
Yes.
Yay.
Yeah, that game's awesome. Go play that game. I recommend that game.
Everybody played that game when it came out, I think.
But yeah, I mean, I guess I like the movie Spy, so I don't know. I'm thinking it'll be at least acceptable or good, you know.
Yeah, if it's as good as Spy, but you know, it's like how good was the Spy trailer? Nobody really gave a shit about the quality of that, and we all saw Spy anyway. So it's didn't. Okay, well, Stev didn't.
Thanks,
Stev. Stev saw How to Be Single instead, but
I liked How to Be Single.
No, actually, sorry, sorry. I saw your video. It was a good video, but you know, it's just like, don't get so upset about trailers, because like the movie is going to be a completely different experience, you know?
Also, keep in mind that most trailers are made with footage that's just done at the moment.
Yeah.
Like especially like the action movies are ones that have like rely heavily on like CGI. But whatever clips they're showing is just the clips that are done.
I think the thing that really did this movie in was the fact that they were promoting it for so long. This movie's been being promoted for 2 years now. And, you know, whether it was good exposure or bad exposure is irrelevant. I'm just tired of it now. Like, the trailer came out, it was underwhelming. And, like, the movie is probably not going to live up to this 2 years of hype that's been building up.
Well, the other thing I think that the problem with, and this is probably a problem with movies and entertainment in general, is that you have a trailer that comes out and you have all these people who want to give an opinion who don't watch movie trailers, barely go to the movies, and suddenly you have to read their page-and-a-half dissertation on this trailer. And I think that's what's hurting this movie, is that just Ghostbusters is so big. And it's like Star Wars has the same problem, but it seems like people won't listen to those idiots. But for some reason, Ghostbusters seems to have more idiots involved. And it's just like taken over the whole conversation. It's like, it sucks. I don't know. I think they didn't cut a good trailer.
No, did you see that recut somebody put up on Reddit?
Yeah, I was
that wasn't a great. I don't think that footage. No. I think they're going to have to make a better trailer by the beginning or end of May. They need a new trailer right away.
Do.
I just want to know if it's a sequel or if it's like completely like cutting off from the previous thing, or is it going to be like this loose canon where some elements happened, some didn't?
Well, the original idea was I'm pretty sure it's a Lego sequel, but then before they do a sequel to this one, there was going to be one with, was it Channing Tatum and Chris Pratt, and then the third one,
Tatum and Chris Pratt, correct?
Yeah, and then it'll come together as like an Avengers type thing.
Yeah, well, okay, so like as much as I'm kind of like worried about Chris Pratt being like in every action movie, I like him a lot as an actor. Like I like seeing him on the screen. So like if there had to be a guy that was gonna be like, that's who I want to be a Ghostbuster. Yeah, I'm kind of okay with Chris Pratt.
And I kind of like the idea of Channing Tatum being a really dumb Ghostbuster. I think that could be funny.
But at the same time, I don't think it necessarily needs to be an all-male cast or all-female cast, because I think at one point they were talking about doing an all-male a Ghostbuster movie alongside this one.
And then a video game and a comic book and all these other things that they want to do.
It's just too much. Aykroyd has way too much time on his hands is the moral of the story. Like he has way too much time to plan all this stuff out, to establish a universe with Ivan Reitman. I don't know if you know this, there's a studio now called Ghost Core, and this is the studio that's going to be producing all these movies.
Well, that's not too. If you're going to do an extended universe, that's pretty normal. But you should just worry about his.
Like, how much can you extend the Ghostbusters universe? Yeah. Like the characters are all the same.
Yeah,
not all the characters are the same. It's just like the concept is so similar.
And why is it to be in New York all the time? Like, surely other parts of the world are being haunted.
Like, let's do the other popular places, like Chicago.
Yeah, I mean, I like the concept of Ghostbusters and, like, the fact that there's, like, somewhat an extended universe. Like, there's Extreme Ghostbusters and, I guess, the IDW Ghostbusters. But
and then in the video game, they opened up more franchise. Like, they franchised the company.
Yeah.
And so I think Rookie, the character from that, went to Chicago, I think.
I don't know if Ghostbusters are as expendable and like you can do as much as like a superhero, because they're all kind of doing the same thing.
Exactly.
Well, you'd have to do what Marvel does and make it each one a different genre, but I don't think Ghostbusters is its own genre, so that's
the problem. It's like the concept for each movie would be way too similar. Like there's just no way to get around unless you're like an incredible writer who has like the ability to really differentiate each movie, you know, enough to the point where I would want to spend money to watch each movie. I just don't think this is going to be a success. And it's a shame because Ghostbusters is one of those things that's kind of timeless and you can put it in any time frame.
Okay. Hear me out.
It'll do well, though. Brand recognition.
How about this? You have a Ghostbusters movie, you have a Scooby-Doo movie, and then you have a couple other ghost hunter people, and then you make one giant ghost hunt movie.
Danny Phantom.
Danny Phantom movie. Yeah.
No, wait. They could fight Danny Phantom and then realize they misunderstood him all along.
Oh, that'll be like the Thor and Iron Man fight.
Look, all I'm saying is that I want my Ghostbusters R.I.P.D. crossover, and that's going to happen. Obviously.
I mean, what? Okay. Evolution.
Bring in Filmation's Ghostbusters.
Oh,
I really, really wanted an Evolution and Ghostbusters crossover because because they're Ghostbusters for aliens.
yeah, I love
No,
Evolution.
Men in Black are the Ghostbusters for aliens.
Yeah, Men in Black gets that, man.
No, what should happen is like the end of Anchorman, where all these guys just happen to meet up in the same park and just fight each other.
Wait, I just got it. Wait, this is epic. This is $1 million idea.
Yeah.
All right, you know how Jump Street and Men in Black are becoming one franchise?
Yeah, they're gonna cross over.
What?
Okay, so yes, they are. So you know how Sony actually owns all three. So get Men in Black, Ghostbusters, and Jump Street to combine into one Uber franchise of 3 different things,
And
just
they're all
continue-
comedies, so it works.
Oh
Yeah.
my God, Sony, call me. I'm so down for this.
Jim, they've already thought about this, and they're
No,
doing
they're like Jim's a genius. We're gonna call him and give him $1 million and a burrito.
Damn.
I'm
I
more
hope-
excited about the burrito.
I want
mean,
the
the
burrito,
burrito
like on
better
a
be-
silver plate.
If it's a bad burrito, I'll just spit it out and go, I'm going to Disney. Fuck you guys.
Audrey Plaza as Kylie would be great, but yeah.
Nah, that'll never happen. I mean, maybe now that we've said it, they're already planning it.
Please, just bring a goth character in there.
And she would totally. That's the great thing about her. She would totally be up for that.
Yeah, she's
Like she would totally be up for that.
Yeah.
I was, I guess my biggest upset for this is the fact that they have an all-female cast and not one of them is Kylie Griffin.
Yeah.
Yeah. The first official female unless you count Janine. Janine was a Ghostbuster before Kylie.
Janine's technically the first female Ghostbuster.
Yeah.
Kylie's the second, and then there's a third one that's in the comics. But
two other. Yeah. There is another one. You're right. There's one more.
I don't count the junior Ghostbusters either.
Does Annie Potts?
Hey, that's just ageist, sir. That is ageist.
What's up, Jim?
Is Annie Potts in the new one?
No.
No, because I know they got Rick Moranis isn't in it.
Yeah, he opted out.
Apparently he's not retired. He's just really picky at what he does.
Well, he was retired and then he unretired basically.
And then refuses to do
And
it.
then he re-retired. No,
Yeah.
just kidding.
Because I think his wife died or something.
No,
His wife died and he took care of his kids. That was like
he was working on Little Giants and he said like I kind of realized like wow, it's so fun to spend all this time with these kids, and he goes, wait, these aren't my kids. And then he went, I need to retire.
And then he did. He was a country singer for a while.
Yeah, he hasn't he won or just been nominated for a Grammy?
I don't know, but I heard he's not. But he's probably been nominated for Juno, which is the Canadian Grammys.
Okay, let's see. Questions. If anybody has a question, be sure to start out with the word question so it's easier to find. So, also post the question on the YouTube page in the first week this video is up, or this podcast is up. Question 1. Eddie W says, question, do you prefer kids voice kids in cartoons or adults voice kids?
I think your mileage may vary. Like, I think it's very much like, does the project call for kids to voice kids? Because there are some things where I think the way the character is written is very much, that's what it depends on. Like in Gravity Falls, I don't think kids would have had the proper comedic timing or like developed, enough comedy chops to pull off half of the stuff that, Jason Ritter and Kristen Schaal did. So I think in that case, yeah. But in the case of something like, I guess Over the Garden Wall, like with Greg, like you needed a kid to voice that part because every line he put out was very like, from the perspective of a kid, not quoting pop culture and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but that kid also had good timing. I mean,
He did. He's a very big exception to my rule.
Because I think there's better adult voice actors who are well trained who can do that than kids who have good. Because there's so few kid actors who are any good. Like, I mean, the ones that are you can name usually. Most of them are a little too cutesy.
Yeah.
I would also say it depends on if it's a TV series versus a movie. A movie I can get away with finding a talented kid like a Disney movie or something. But
that's true because that's actually that you bring that up is that Land Before Time, one of the reasons I love that movie is because most of the cast are actual kids, so it feels so much more realer because of that.
Mm-hmm. That girl who voiced Ducky. I don't really want to talk about it.
Man.
Why'd you bring it up?
Yeah, now you ruined my.
I wanted to compliment her acting in that because she did really good in that, and then she did amazing in All Dogs Go to Heaven. Like, she nailed every single one of her lines in that in All Dogs Go to Heaven. Like, she was fantastic in that.
Mm-hmm.
The girl who plays Sarah in Land Before Time, I think is like really amazing. Like, I think she's really good.
But then if you have a kid voice actor in a TV series, especially one that goes long, you have the risk of them going through puberty and aging up.
Yeah.
I always thought the girl who voiced Sarah was the girl who voiced Helga in Hey Arnold, but they're two totally different people.
I mean, Hey Arnold, I think, had 4 different voice actors for Arnold.
Yeah, they kept trying to keep them kids because they felt that they wrote it in a way where they wrote it how kids would talk.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it wasn't, kids trying to do the comedy kind of came from them just being kids.
Yeah.
And growing up in that world. And, the girl who voiced Helga was probably the only really consistent voice actor in that entire lineup.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they kept her on, 1, because she could keep doing that voice, and 2, because she was just an incredible actor, and they kept expanding her role as the show went on.
Yeah.
Plus, didn't they do like an event or something where like they made the previous voice actors of Arnold like bullies or something? Like they kept them on the show?
Yes.
What?
Yes. I think all of them became Torvalds at one point.
Oh.
Wow. Wow. I mean, it's kind of how you use the voice actors and what the project is. It's not. I don't think there's a yes or no with this.
Yeah, but personally for me, I would shoot, like, if I were to cast some kid for something, like, well, I mean, if I had a kid character and I needed a voice, like, I would go for the adult, since that would be consistent. Their voices won't change over time. Because I'm watching Clarence right now, and the voice of Jeff, like, he's going to puberty, and it just sounds really weird when their voices start to change.
Yeah, that kid.
Their character design remains the same. Like, they're not going to age, so it's a little weird.
That kid's also on the Goldbergs, that ABC show. Yeah. And when they went to the second season, I saw him like, oh, he's going through that stage of his life. So he's either going to get recast or they're going to have him go through puberty first or something. Like, they're going to have to either fire him or write their way around it.
Yeah. Well, they have problems with that in movies where I think they had shot most of Harry Potter and then Daniel Radcliffe's in the first one, I think, and his voice changed a little bit, so they had to have him dub over all of his lines.
Yeah, interesting. I think an even more interesting one actually is The Sword and the Stone, because Arthur is played by 3 kids.
What?
One of them went through puberty, the other one quit, and then the other one just voiced him. Like, it's 3 different kids, but in a weird way, it emulates a kid going through puberty.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's true. He does have that squeaky voice.
Yeah.
This reminds me, remember that movie Mars Needs Moms by
yes.
Robert Zemeckis? Those creepy motion capture films? Like, originally Seth Green... Yeah, Seth Green was going to voice the little kid in the movie. Like, they were even doing promotions because I saw him on, like, I think Conan or a talk show talking about doing the voice. But in the actual movie, they recasted him, and now it's a little kid doing the voice of his character.
Wait, who did the movements? Were they his?
Did they recast him or did they pitch his voice up?
Oh, no, they recasted him, and he did them. I believe Seth Green did do the movements.
Oh, geez. I've heard of that, because wasn't in Deadpool, Colossus is played by, like, 3 different people? It's like one for the voice, one for the motion, and something else.
That makes sense.
I've heard something like that. I know it's at least 2. The guy...
Swapping out voice actors, Ninja Turtles, the new one, like, it must really suck to be the guy that had to act out all of Leonardo's things and then told he's going to be the voice of Leonardo, and then they hired someone more famous.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I remember that. That hurts.
Yeah. Because he had to put on the turtle gear and all that and actually do the hard work, and then you just have, what's his name from Jackass? Foxworthy? No. Yeah, that one. That's the right name.
Damn. It's not fair. Homesarlight 3001 says, question, what is a movie in development hell that you're interested in? Mine is that there was going to be a Crazy Taxi movie, but they couldn't think of a good plot.
So they did House of the Dead instead?
I guess so.
which, by the way, I really like House of the Dead. I own that on DVD.
Kind of wish they did make a Crazy Taxi movie, because that would just reek of early 2000s, just bright neon colors and such.
Yeah.
But the one thing I want to see brought out of development hell is the Akira movie, the live action US remake, because we know it's gonna suck. Just pull the trigger and do it. Just do it already. Fucking do it.
No.
It's gonna happen. Just do it now.
No.
It's gonna
That sounds horrible.
Suck. Look, nothing's gonna save that movie. Just pull the trigger and get it over with.
But let's just put it out of its misery. Put a pillow in its face and just and act like it didn't happen.
They could do. I'm trying to think of something in development hell that it'd be. I still want Batman Year One to happen, even though that animated movie was so good. I still kind of want what Darren Aronofsky's Batman Year One, because that's what they pitched before Batman Begins, and it was going to be R-rated. And I'm still like, I wish that had happened, because that sounds so fucking cool.
Well, after Deadpool, there's going to be definitely more R-rated superhero movies.
Well, they said that, but everyone said that, but then both Marvel and DC pretty much in the last week have been, and even Marvel and DC and Fox have all been like, not right now.
I mean, if it's like needs to be rated R, sure, like Blade should be rated R. Was that rated R?
I think. I don't know.
Well, what if it's because they can't necessarily do it in theaters because a big portion of superhero audience is kids. But what if they start making unrated versions on DVD, which might boost up DVD sales?
That is what they're doing for Batman vs Superman. There's going to be an R-rated cut, but apparently a lot of it isn't just punches, and because apparently when you do action sequences, MPAA is even like the intensity adds to the rating, apparently, which I didn't know. And so a lot of the originally cut action sequences will be in the DVD or Blu-ray, and a lot of the fan service stuff will be in the DVD and Blu-ray, like even more fan service stuff than there probably already is. So they are considering doing that with that movie, but to my understanding, like X-Men Apocalypse was too far along, and Civil War and all that stuff. But like with the Marvel stuff, there's never a director's cut. Like usually everybody, when the movie's done, they all agree that's the best version. So, or that's at least what they tell us at this point.
Well, wasn't Joss Whedon working on a director's cut of the Avengers 2?
Well, that's the other thing with Marvel is, so you know that opening in Civil War where he goes to see Agent Carter, or in Winter Soldier. Did I say Civil War? I forget. Anyway, at the beginning of Winter Soldier, where they do that scene, that was originally shot in the Avengers, and then they put that in Winter Soldier. So they've done that before, where they've shot a sequence for one movie and then it ends up in a different movie. So I think that's probably why Marvel does not want to do that, because they're like, well, yeah, but then we can use that shit later, and their contracts allow them to. How did we get on this?
Movie stuck in development hell.
Batman Year One is like one of my bigger ones.
Gary, do you have a movie that is trapped in development hell that you want to see finished?
I feel like some of them have been finished and they weren't that good. I remember for a while they were going to make a Crazy Taxi movie.
That's what they mentioned.
Oh, really? Seriously?
Yeah, this commenter question mentioned.
Yeah, it's crazy. I remember Seth Green was attached to it for a while, I think.
Oh, no. What?
Well, I think honestly, I would want him to play Axel.
I guess that could work, but he's too short, and he's not muscular like Axel at all. Oh, I don't know.
Is Axel muscular? I think he's kind of lean.
For some reason, I don't know. Like, I guess that would make no sense. He's a taxi driver. What does he need to work out for?
Yeah.
Emma Stone as I forget the girl's name.
Gina?
Yeah. And
Gina, BD Joe, and then Gus.
Oh, actually, now that you bring it up, or now that I thought of it, sorry. Drew Goddard, who directed Cabin in the Woods and wrote The Martian, he was supposed to do a Daredevil movie, and it didn't happen. And then he was supposed to do the Daredevil TV show, and that didn't happen. So I actually kind of wanted to see his Daredevil. I thought that would have been cool. I kind of was upset that his movie never happened.
Well, that's not going to happen now due to Netflix.
No, it's not.
Hey, come on over, have some fun with Crazy Taxi. Yeah. Day after day, your whole life's a wreck. The powers that be just bring down your neck. You get no respect. You
Faith Hickey, question, what do you think of all these old Disney movies being remade with more gritty and darker take? For me, I like the idea, but I wish it was animated instead of live action.
I mean, I think it's fucking bullshit.
Yeah.
I mean, I wish they just re-released them in theaters. I would love to have seen Sleeping Beauty in theaters or Cinderella or Beauty and the Beast or Jungle Book instead of this fucking crap. Like, it's just, I really don't like it.
Like, they recently released a trailer for Pete's Dragon. Like, you know, that stupid-looking fucking dragon with the pink hair.
I'm more for them remaking stuff that nobody cares about. Like, that's a movie, like, I have no nostalgia for. It wasn't a big part of my childhood. And they picked out a weirder indie director rather than an indie director that made something your mom can watch. Mm-hmm. And I'm down for that one more, but I'm sure they'll make it a typical Disney thing and it won't be that good. But as of right now, I'm curious, you know.
Oh, but also the Jungle Book, which isn't that by the guy who directed Iron Man?
Yeah, Jon Favreau.
Yeah. I believe he said that this is going to be his Avatar, which I'm like, you mean Shyamalan's Avatar?
No. He did a big
sorry, it took me like a half second to like click the joke.
He did this big show for the press where he showed off footage and said the reason he wanted to do a technology movie was because of Avatar and Gravity. And I was like, dude, your movie's not going to be as good as either of those fucking things. Like, don't kid yourself. I have no faith in that
rude.
One. Well, it's just, come on, like the thing,
you'll never be as good as them.
Well, here's the thing, Favreau, name me one good movie he has made with special effects since the first Iron Man. They have all fucking stunk up the place. Iron Man 2 sucked. Cowboys and Aliens sucked. I mean, it's like, how many times am I going to act like he's going to be a big director? It's not happening. Like, he needs to. Iron Man is one of the best Marvel movies. It's a great movie, but he's just never followed it up. I like Chef though, but it's just this movie.
Chef had a lot of CGI in it.
Yeah, well, that's why I was leaving this. I said CGI because I like Chef, but Favreau, Jungle Book, like, I'll see it, but my expectations are so low after fucking Cowboys and Aliens stunk up the.
You're such a dream crusher, Jim.
What? Look. I need to be real with Favreau. He's wasting his time. He needs to get up, start cleaning the apartment, get a better damn job. I mean, it's just like. Wait, what were
if you guys want to call me back on my computer, it's up now. Hang on.
It's fine now.
Are you sure? I sound okay?
Let's just ride this train home.
We're almost done.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah.
The new Jungle Book, the new grim dark action Jungle Book. It's so stupid.
It's grim dark like the shit I'm gonna take on it after I see it.
Oh.
I mean, what the fuck happened to I forget how the songs go. Shit. You know the song with the bear.
Bare necessities.
Oh, bare necessities. Yeah.
Are they gonna do like? I'm pretty sure the trailer has like a creepy version of the bare necessities.
It has a slower one, yeah. It does.
Like a whistle version of it, but it's a slow whistle. Oh god, fucking shit.
Well,
shit,
you know
man.
what? You know, apparently what I've heard about the footage that people have seen is that Mowgli is the worst part, and I was like, oh, that's not an essential element, so this should be fine.
Nobody wants to see a little kid in his underwear for 2 hours unless you're a fucking weirdo. That's why the Astro Boy movie failed.
And they're making a new Astro Boy movie.
What?
They're remaking Astro Boy as a live action movie.
Are butt rockets involved this time? Because if they're not,
I don't know, but I don't know.
Butt rockets is to Astro Boy as Mowgli was to Jungle Book. That's what I'm hearing.
Also, I actually wanted to say this on the other question, but it's not. I don't think it was ever being planned on being made. But I really want them to make a Jet Set movie. I think that'd be really cool. A Jet Set Radio.
Jet Set Radio.
I think it'd be really cool to make a movie based off Jet Set with the guy. I think you could use the guy who directed Sky Captain because he had that unique kind of weird style.
He ain't doing shit.
No, I know, but I think he had a kind of unique enough eye to do something that kind of like that.
I don't know. I would want Scott Pilgrim's director.
Yeah,
Edgar Wright. I don't know. I would want it to look like that movie. What's it called? The movie with Keanu Reeves.
Scanner Darkly. I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah. Like I would want to look like a Scanner Darkly.
It's rotoscoped with it, so it's cell shaded like the game is.
I don't know.
Exactly.
I don't know if that director Richard Linklater, I feel like he used to be a little more experimental, but after Boyhood, I heard he's kind of resigning to doing more realistic stuff, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I could totally see him. I could see, if you've ever seen Slacker, I could see him doing I could see him doing a Jet Set movie.
No, it's like,
very easily.
I like that Linklater, but I've heard from other things, all the stuff he's developing, it seems like he's like no more experimental Linklater, just like the down hum Texas, like slow story kind of guy instead of
I liked Bernie a lot, so more of that would be fine.
No, I mean, I like him. I miss the Scanner Darkly guy. I like the guy where you'd be like, what's this Waking Life? I'll see it, you know?
Yeah.
Because Waking Life's kind of weird.
I mean, I guess like a Jet Set Radio movie would be on the level of a Vin Diesel's Triple X, where it's just an action movie but mixed in with all these stupid extreme sports crap. Do you guys see Triple X?
No, I saw it so long ago, but it's coming back.
I have a story.
Triple X is a product of the early 2000s. It's the most extreme bullshit.
Did you see the first time they tried to sequelize it? It was horrible.
Yeah, with Ice Cube.
Oh, I did see that.
I want to say where I saw Triple X. I saw it on Toon Disney.
What?
Yeah.
What?
No joke. The first like 15 minutes, it was between commercial breaks of, I think it was Toy Story or something, but it was someone put in the wrong tape.
Wait, how long did they let that play?
15 minutes until the commercial break.
Wow.
I'm not joking. It happened. I just remember watching it and like
if I search this online, will I find something about this?
I don't know, but I remember seeing it. I had Direct TV, Toon Disney, and Triple X aired.
See, that's one of the cool things that like TV could always do that the internet can't. Is that like suddenly you just think you're watching one show and they put in the wrong tape and you're like, what the fuck is this?
It's like that. I mean, like TV used to be very unpredictable like that. You had like the Max Headroom guy come on TV like out of nowhere. Like I kind of miss
that TV hack thing.
Yeah.
That's once in a lifetime.
Yeah, that don't happen every day.
Well, it happened twice in the 80s. It happened once with the Max Headroom, and then another guy blacked out a broadcast of an HBO movie and kind of told them to go fuck themselves.
Oh, that's true. But that guy got caught.
Yeah, and he apologized for it.
Max Headroom, he had to. They still don't know what happened to him.
That is the creepiest part about that whole thing.
He's still out there.
He's still out there. They thought they had found him for a bit, but apparently that went nowhere.
Probably behind a dumpster doing heroin, but he's still out there.
He is.
Well, if you're going to do heroin, might as well be behind a dumpster.
Yeah, that's where you belong.
I mean, that's the best place to do heroin.
Fansif Fox, can you give my friend Carter a shout out? He loves this webcomic Loki IRL, but hates the podcast. No. All right.
That's my favorite question.
Sinam Sem Seaton, ever watched a cartoon that was influential, but then noticed it wasn't necessarily good?
Oh, I have a really good one for this, actually.
Which one?
Prince Ahmed. Is that it?
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
So I was talking to a bunch of animators about how important that film was. We're all like, God, because it's like the first animated feature film. And everyone's like, it's so important. It's so influential. It is a must-see for every... And we were like talking like this for like 15 minutes, like how important it was. And then I was like... And I waited and I went, but you know, the thing with it is it's like kind of super boring. And everyone went, oh God, I've never stayed awake through that thing. Like, it's so fucking boring. Like, everyone is like, I fall asleep every time I watch that. I was like, that's to me is that's the most influential animated thing that I don't know anyone who stayed awake during, but it's like the most influential thing ever. I think, and everyone I've talked to about it has said the same thing. Go, oh, it's boring as shit, but you should absolutely see it once.
I think I'm gonna probably piss off a lot of people, but I really didn't like Princess Mononoke. Like it might have been because I was watching it in class and like I don't know, it just didn't connect with me. I tend to like Miyazaki more when he's doing more down to earth stuff, like slice of life stuff. Like Kiki is still probably my favorite movie by him.
Kiki's Delivery Story is, in my opinion, it's his best one.
No, that's
Yeah. Oh wow. I'm glad we all agree on that. But yeah, Princess Mononoke just seemed overly preachy and boring. Like I just kind of sat there. I'm like, I just felt like I was being lectured while watching it, and that's the worst kind of thing that could happen in a movie to me.
Do you like Nausicaa?
Valley of the Wind?
Yeah.
Yeah, but only because I like the designs better in that movie.
Oh, okay. So you're more of a like more of the character ones, less of the epic saga ones.
Exactly. Yeah, I like.
Are you more of a Takahata person?
I don't know. When it comes to anime movies, I tend to like a lot of the newer guys better. Like who's the guy who directed Girl Who Left Through Time? Because I like that guy a lot.
He had the new one, The Boy and the Beast, but I don't.
Yeah, and it's only playing in Pennsylvania, like Connecticut or something.
No, it's playing in New York. I saw it.
Oh, it is?
It's at the Chelsea Clearview, and it's at the Angelica, and it's at the Bedbug Theater. I'm not telling everyone.
The Bedbug. I knew exactly what you were talking about.
You know what I'm talking about, but it's at the other two. I know I saw it there. I think it's playing at least till Thursday. I don't know after that, though.
Okay, I'll have to make plans to go see it then for sure. But I like him. Like when it comes to anime movies, I like newer guys like that. I feel like their ideas, in terms of anime, like the ideas seem to be constantly fresh in terms of anime features. That guy who directed, I can't remember his name. I'm sorry. Somebody can correct me in the comments, but I like The Girl Left Through Time. Summer Wars is fantastic, even though it's only the Digimon movie, basically. And then he did another one. Did he do Paprika? He didn't do Paprika, right? Okay, that one's really good too. But I don't know, Miyazaki. I love a lot of his stuff, but I find a lot of his stuff is kind of like, it's not that it's not important, obviously, because it is, but like I don't know, it's never clicked with me as much as some other directors.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it did kill the guy who did Whisper of the Heart. So no, it did, because he overworked and he had a heart attack, and that was his last movie. Sorry to bring everything down.
Yeah. So,
Stev, does Stev have one?
Kind of, yeah. We can't end on a depressing note like that.
Sorry.
I can't think of any on top of my head, to be honest.
Toy Story 3.
I don't.
Toy Story 3? What the fuck did you say?
Well, the one that popped up was another Miyazaki film, and I'm really scared to say my opinion on that one because I know that.
Just do it. I did mine.
Nobody cares.
I didn't care for My Neighbor Totoro.
Whoa!
Like I thought it was cute. No, stop. I thought it was really cute.
This fucker probably didn't like Grave of the Fireflies. Get him off. No, I'm just kidding.
Wait, what?
My Neighbor Totoro never gave back my lawnmower.
Wait, Grave of the Fireflies is another. It's not a Miyazaki movie, but like it was double billed with that, so that's why I brought it.
See, like I know my problem, and it's a personal problem, is that I saw My Neighbor Totoro like 2 years ago, so I didn't get to see it through the magical eyes of a kid, and
yeah.
And so, like, to me, it was just kind of like a relatively boring but cute movie. I could see where, like, the colorfulness of it and the cuteness of it would have kept me entertained the entire time. And if I had nostalgia for it, I would probably be, like, on the same boat as everyone else. But, but as an adult, I mean, I'm getting choked up here. I'm like, someone's already killing me with their mind.
Go finish your thought now.
So what you're saying is only stupid kids like Totoro.
I didn't say that.
Pretty much. Okay, that's Stev's criticism. You have to be a stupid child to enjoy Totoro.
I was gonna say, tying back to TROMA, we were the first company to release Totoro in America.
What?
Yeah, TROMA and 20th Century Fox did a joint venture where we released TROMA. We released Totoro under I can't remember the name of the studio, but it wasn't TROMA. We were like a division of TROMA, and I'm butchering this, and anybody who listens to this is gonna kill me. And I'm not gonna try to say it because I'm gonna mess it up. But we tried doing family films for a while, and I don't know. I guess it didn't really catch on. But it's really cool because like I think a lot of people actually prefer the TROMA dub. It's not. I don't think we actually dubbed it or anything. Fox was the one who dubbed it. But a lot of people prefer the Fox dub to the Disney dub.
That's right, because half of Miyazaki films have 2 dubs now. Like Kiki's Service has like 4. I mean, like there's one that's distinctly different. That was only aired in like plane rides, like it was like an on-flight movie. Then there's the Disney one, and then every time Disney releases it, they always edit the cut, and it pisses me off because I like the one as a kid.
Yeah.
Like they released it on DVD and changed the English songs that was written for the English release to the Japanese songs, and that's the only difference. And then the Blu-ray version that I bought, they cut out a lot of Gigi's lines because they were originally improv by Phil Hartman. And
the Gigi lines are great though.
they're the best
I think Phil
ones.
Hartman,
yeah. Like Kiki.
It's Kiki. It's me.
If you fight a white cat in here, it's me.
I don't know. Yeah. Kiki is definitely Miyazaki's best, I think.
Yeah.
I think that's the consensus
It's up
here.
there.
Mm-hmm.
That and Spirited Away.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. There you go. Go.
That's the one that's the only one I saw in full when I was younger.
That's
on a VHS.
Disney? Okay.
No, not on Disney Channel, but like on a. I was in the back of the car and we put like not a TV built for cars, but like a regular TV, a tiny one, and just shoved it in the middle.
That's what I did when I was a kid.
Wait,
exactly what we did. Did you bungee cord it? Like you bungee corded it to the dashboard or something? Like
Pretty
that's
much,
what.
It was in the back seat. But yeah, it was a 6-hour car ride to Mexico, and that's how I saw Spirited Away.
Wait, that's funny because it's that movie because the beginning and end with her in the back seat of the car. That's an interesting way to see Spirited Away.
Yeah. Ooh, wow, Jim getting really deep there.
Yeah.
Sorry, I've seen Spirited Away a lot of times.
No, I was complimenting you, dude.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Thank you.
It's actually really fascinating.
I mean, I did briefly see Kiki's Delivery Service on Disney Channel years ago, but also there was that time where my dad was watching TV and he said, "Pan, get in here," and I do, and on TV is like a documentary about animation, and they're showing footage of the raccoon movie with the balls.
Pompoko.
Yeah.
Pompoko.
Yeah. So he was just laughing his ass off at those raccoons with balls.
Well, they're not actually raccoons. They're like something else.
They're tanukis. They're tanukis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they were in the American dub. They're raccoons, and they're not. It's not their balls. It's their pouches.
Oh yeah, sure. We'll go.
Sure.
with that.
Yeah. Okay, America.
I mean, here's the thing: is Miyazaki is a better director for America because Takahata can get fucking weird, and that's like Pompoko is like Takahata didn't give no shits towards the end of his.
Did Takahata do that one about the family, like the really weird, like oddly drawn one? Okay, yeah.
Yes, that was his last. That was the one before the last one, Princess What's Her Face.
Mm-hmm.
Princess Mononoke. I also like the one. I also like the Ghibli movie that was done by like the interns or whatever. Like it wasn't done by the interns. It was done like. It was the
Ocean Waves.
Yes, I love that one.
Ocean Waves is good. It was a TV thing, and the interns kind of fucked it up, and the people had to come in and fix it. Yeah, it was a TV movie, and it's kind of obscure. I like that one. It's a little too Only Yesterday like. That's the kind of problem. I would much rather.
I tend to like character heavy stuff. Like for Failing Upward, from a writing perspective, is probably based more off slice of life anime than like American sitcoms, but like it's definitely done in a sitcom-y style. But yeah, I love those slice of life animes. It's especially Girl Who Leapt Through Time, even though that has fantasy elements. Like the way those characters interact and like the way they act is very real, and I like that. That scene where she breaks down and cries is like, oh man, I get like chills just watching that. Like it's perfect. I love it.
Mm-hmm. So, is this the end of the podcast?
I think so.
Yeah, I guess so.
We'll have links in the description for the TROMA Animation Fest, was it?
TROMA Animated. And I also just liked TROMA Animated Film Festival. And I also just like to add, because I didn't really get to talk about it last time I was on the podcast, but in terms of Failing Upward, everybody should go check out the artist who does Failing Upward. His name is Nick, and he has a Tumblr. It's Omlette County. Yeah, definitely Omlette County on Tumblr. His art's great. Yeah. We'll link it in the description. And then, we went this entire podcast without saying that me and Stev worked on Failing Upward together.
Yeah. I was one of the original artists to help draw stuff.
So next video is going to be a review of Mega Man, the TV series, the episode with furries. Goodbye, everyone.
Bye.
At least it's not the Captain in Mega Man.
No.
Mega.
Sing us out, Emily.
Yay, and Stephanie.
started at the age of 4.
My mother went to the grocery store
when sneaking through the bedroom door
to find something in a size 4.
Sugar and spice and everything nice wasn't made for only girls. G.I. Joe and Pantyhose is making room for the one and only King for a day.
Princess by Dawn.
King for a day in a leather thong. King for a day. Princess by Dawn. Just wait till all the guys get a load of me.
My daddy threw me in therapy.
He thinks I'm not a real man.
What's the dragon drag queen?
Don't knock it until you tried it. Sugar and spice and everything nice wasn't made for only girls.